What's going on, guys? Chris, SVT Garage, and tonight I got this in. This is another Sigala part I'm kind of rolling the dice on. I got my buddy's satin silver Cobra in here for some work. He bought a ton of Sigala stuff for this thing. He bought this wing, the side scoops, a hood, factory 03 looking hood. He bought the chin spoiler that was carbon. I think he might have bought the wiper panel, and I think that was it. Anyways, it came out to $3,200, and he got rid of all of it. He didn't even put on the car. The hood says you could use the factory latch. Not even an option. Looking at it for like 2 hours, there's just no way that you could even get your factory latch to work on that. You had to run hood pins on it, which you didn't want to do, which I understand because it wants a clean look. This car is beautiful. And the fitment on it, he was kind of sketchy on too, because everything else was just off. The chin spoiler looked like, I don't know, a third grader was working on it. The whole edge, this whole lip up here on that carbon chin spoiler was ate to crap. The side scoops on the car, I'm sorry, I was going to put them on the car. It's just nothing seemed to line up. The tabs weren't there. It just wasn't what he wanted. Because again, the car's flawless. He wants to keep it that way, and I understand that. So he got rid of the spoiler. I told him I was interested in it, and I'm rolling the dice on it, so we'll see how this goes. Couple things right off the bat that I don't like that I see is, if you get this in the light, I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but I have to wet sand and buff it. There's a lot of, it's hard to see this on the camera here. Anyways, there's a lot of scratches up top here. I can wet sand and buff them out, but again, this stuff took months to come in. They wouldn't give him they would not give him a return on it because they said that there's no returns on custom pieces, which I thought was silly because this is what they make. This isn't custom, this is their work, but the stuff is made to, you order it, it's made. I understand that part. But to spend $3,200 and the stuff not fit right and really not have much customer service, it was, again, I understand why he's frustrating. So anyways, so scratches up top here, we'll have to address that. The holes here to put the third brake light in, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to drill these larger. The underside of it, again, I know you don't see this, but it's not going to fit flush. This mud right here, this, you can feel this. Like, I can scratch that off. So I got to sand this down. I got to sand this down. See this lip right here? All this right here has to get sanded down. Especially this. This is hella thick. So again, this isn't going to sit flush on the car just based off of what I see here. And then I'm going to have to double check these holes to make sure that they line up. Pray to God they do. So we're test fitting tonight. But what a pain in the butt to get the factory one off. So the nuts, the bolts, I'm sorry, coming through, they grab the car here on the back side of the holes. You can see it kind of pulls on the holes coming out. And I believe it's because of these tabs here. So I'll show you guys on the factory spoiler, but these are supposed to, the spoiler is going to pop off, and I didn't know that coming out, so I had a wedge in there just to hold, to put some pressure on the bolts on this side. Anyways, long story short, you just kind of got to be forceful with it and lift up, and these would technically be where this is and this is, so it's not going to be able to utilize these because there's just no way for these to attach to that. But anyways, not a big deal. Not worried about that. I'll show you guys on the factory spoiler. I left the third brake light in because this is an OEM one. It's not damaged. The tabs on it are good, so I ordered a sequential LED one from American Muscle, so that'll be here in a day or two, so we're going to go with that. But those tabs I showed you lock into here, and you can't really tell when you're taking this off. You can't see nothing. You push this through, there's a hole, push that through, and then just kind of, you got to give it some force, pull up, and then these will unlock, and then the spoiler's free. But back to this guy, I'm really hoping this is going to fit nice, because I love how the carbon is going to look with the red fire. So we're going to get this all lined up here. I guess I expect it not to be perfect because it is an aftermarket piece, but with this pushed all the way up and this pushed all the way up, you can see some blemishes from where I took off the factory spoiler, so I'm gonna have to try to adjust that. I might just take this down, the whole trunk. I might take it to my buddy and just have painted, because it's kind of a bummer. The double side tape that Ford uses, see here, it pulled up some of the paint. Again, this is underneath the spoiler, but I'm afraid you might see a little bit of it because of how this edge is on this guy, which is, again, not their fault. This is just from that tape sitting on the car for 20 years. But anyways, we're going to get this cleaned up tonight. I got the third brake light coming in a day or two. So I'm going to get this all polished, cleaned up. It's pretty gross. This is 20 years of just nastiness. And it's kind of funny how Ford did this. This one here was kind of snaked on there. This one here is totally different. It was just straight down. But anyways, I'm excited. I'm hoping this works out. Please, Sigala, don't screw me on this one. I'll keep everybody posted. Hopefully another day or two this thing will be on there, and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, thanks again, SVT Garage.